There is someone in Idaho running for lieutenant governor by the name of Janice McGeechan. I didn't come up with her name. Don't blame me for it. But she's been drawing controversy recently because she has been seen with Stu Peters. Remember how when I was talking about Jerry and Jax, we would get back to Stu Peters? This is that time. So, yeah, let's talk about Stu Peters for a little bit. Let's let's do that. What's this man about? What does this dude what's he stand for? Stop. You are not ready. You are not ready for the what Stu Peters is about to bring. Look at this man right here.
Tony Fauci basically, no, not basically, literally unleashed a bioweapon on the entire world. Why is this man still running around free instead of hanging by the end of a noose somewhere?
Yeah, that's Stu Peters. I can play this whole clip, but we already know where it's going. He doesn't like Fauci. He thinks Fauci released COVID as a weapon. So at least we're not in COVID denial territory, but we're in some place arguably worse, considering that he thinks that COVID is a bioweapon released by Fauci for some reason. For any reason, really. But yeah, this is the level of Stu Peters' brain. So let's see what he had to do with his campaign. Whoop. Radical conspiracy theorist Stu Peters' campaign for Idaho Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeechan. Janice McGeechan, Idaho's radical lieutenant governor, who is seeking to defeat Governor Brad Little in the state's Republican primary, held a campaign rally on Wednesday that featured a variety of far-left activists and conspiracy theorists. That did happen. We'll come back to it. In attendance to the campaign for McGeechan were radical right-wing commentator Michelle Malkin, election conspiracy theorist Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers, and extreme broadcaster Stu Peters, all of whom addressed the white nationalist America First Political Action Conference in February, as did McGeechan. Peters, a white nationalist promoting broadcaster who routinely uses his nightly program to spread wild conspiracy theories and calls for violence, was a keynote speaker at McGeechan's rally, and he delivered precisely the sort of unhinged speech one would expect, declaring that MAGA world's political enemies are possessed by demons and they want to rape our children. Today's uniparty RINOS and liberal Democrats and communists unintentionally mutilate themselves for the sake of being transgender, so the only way they can ever reproduce is by stealing our kids and then filling their brains with poison, Peter said. That's how they operate. We have to call them out. These are the people who want to steal and poison and groom and, yes, rape our children. They're demonic. Literally, I think some of them are actually possessed by demons. That might seem like shocking language, but you know what? Good, Peters added. I'm glad it is, because sadly the risk of being on the right side of history comes with a very real risk of being labeled as an extremist or banned from the internet or jailed or even killed. Wow. Okay. So this man is unhinged, clearly. If you were here in chat earlier, you can kind of see a lot of the language he's using versus what Mr. Dark MAGA Man was using. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of unhinged. But, we got video, so let's go with this. Okay. Of course. Thank you, RWW, for providing this for us. I will use this.
enemy, today's uniparty rhinos and liberal Democrats and communists, intentionally mutilate themselves for the sake of being transgender. So the only way that they can ever reproduce is by stealing our kids.
Right.
And then filling their brains with poison. That's how they operate. And we have to call them out. These are the people who want to steal and poison and groom and, yes, rape our children.
That's right. No way!
They're demonic. Literally, I think some of them are actually possessed by demons.
Yes.
I mean, do you agree?
No.
And that might seem like shocking language. But you know what? Good. Good. I'm glad that it is. Because sadly, the risk of being on the right side of history comes with the very real risk of being labeled an extremist or banned from the internet or jailed or even killed.
Yeah. There's really no need to tackle it other than this man is having a little bit of a meltdown on stage because this makes no fucking sense. Of course, for some reason, Republicans are still on the whole thing of, you know, transgenderism equals grooming. We can address Republican CSA crimes later. Probably not in this stream, but in the future, I think it is very helpful to go over every Republican who has ever been convicted of a sexual assault crime. Because holy shit, that's a lot. And it's honestly sickening, especially considering that they are the God party and the one to protect children. You know what I mean? But yeah, this man who we saw with Jaron Jackson, you can tell like what kind of guy he is to be speaking specifically for Miss McGeechan over here. Let's see what her campaign rally was all about. Let's see. Let's see.
Coming to Kleiner Park in Meridian, Idaho, America's favorite freedom fighters, James Lindsay, Michelle Malkin, Stu Peters, and Arizona Senator Wendy Rogers will be here to rally the conservative vote. This free, family-friendly rally will take place in Meridian on May 4th at 5:30 p.m. Visit May4thrally.com. That's May4thrally.com for more information.
Okay, that was not exactly what I was expecting it to be, but okay. The fuck was he talking about stealing kids for? Fear mongering, basically. To them, kids being shown leftist ideas is grooming and indoctrination to them. However, they show their kids right-wing ideas all the time, but you know those are good ideas, so they should just know those already. So when he talks about stealing kids, for some people, that could be, they might literally believe Democrats steal kids and eat them. Or, more than likely, he's talking about they steal kids by showing them leftist ideas, and then those kids realizing those ideas are kind of based and cool, and then those kids are no longer Republicans, so they stole our kids. They took our kids, you know? That's more or less it. They're scared that they're just scared, you know? Showing kids, like, leftist ideas of, like, equality and, you know, good, you know, things happening in the world and how bad things are bad. Yeah, they're afraid that showing kids like that those kids will follow those ideas. And, you know, kids tend to follow those ideas because kids tend to be pro-good and anti-bad. Which is basically how I boil down Stu Peters. He's a bad guy. He's a very bad guy. Because he's a little bit crazy and hateful. You know? But, he was not the only one there for, Miss Janice. No. No, there were several other people. Let's see, like good old Lauren W. So in this picture, you can see. Well, I guess it doesn't zoom in very well. There is several people, but notably, Lauren Witzke is among these people. For those who don't know, she is a very avid white nationalist. So not only do we have Stu Peters at this rally, we also have just an open white nationalist. So we got conspiracy theorists and white nationalists. But again, that's not all. Why is this thing match made in hell? Yes, it is. However, that's perfect. If I had to describe the right wing right now, it is just conspiracy theorists and nationalists. Sad to say it, but that's kind of where it's going to on the internet, at least. And since they're showing up at a lieutenant governor's rally party, that's worse. Because that means these people are no longer on the internet and they're actually getting real political power, which should terrify people. Because, yeah, if you think their opinions on the internet are bad, awful, and deplorable, those opinions could very easily become law. So, yeah, we should probably be on the lookout for that and not let these people run for office. Because although Miss McGeechan is not on the internet and she hasn't explicitly said these things, she's still buddy with them. And she's appealing to their fan base, which is kind of enough to prove that she does believe in these things and she will push for these things. If that's the voter she's trying to please, she will please them by putting these things into law. It's becoming law already, but still with laws, at a lot of times, even some of the crazier ones on the right before these people they tried to have some deniability. She's here with Stu Peters. She's here with far right commentators. You know? She is open about this. She is completely open with her ties with all of this. There is no barrier. There is no veil. She's not trying to hide this anymore. She's very happy that this is happening, in fact. She's trying to get these voters in. Yeah. I'm hoping she loses miserably. Although I'm not the biggest fan of her opponent, I much rather he win. Brad Little, I'm not the biggest Brad Little stan, but he's not the one sitting elbow to elbow with white nationalists. McGeechan is. So fuck her. Maybe, Mr. Little will be bad, but at least he's not an open white nationalist friend. That's just me. However, it's not just Idaho who's got this. And it's not just Oklahoma. Have you ever heard of Senator Rogers? Miss Wendy Rogers? Maybe you have. We literally just mentioned her in the stream 2 seconds ago. Because she was friends with McGeechan. Well, here she is right here. She is the woman with her thumb up next to a man with his finger up. You can see Stu Peters in the back in his teal suit that he used for his demonic speech. But who's this man in the hat, you ask? Well, my friends, I am very happy to tell you. Actually, I'm quite sad to tell you. That is Vincent James, another right-wing commentator. Of course, they just can't stay away. Because Republicans love elbowing up with other nationalists and other crazies. Is Vincent James a crazy? I don't know. You tell me.
The Supreme Court has completely banned abortion, or they're going to move to ban abortion. They're going to ban sodomy. They're going to ban gay marriage. They're going to throw gays off roofs. Women lose, God wins, Christ wins, total victory incoming, hoes mad, total baby victory, let's go, gays are banned, sodomy's banned, gay marriage is banned, Vinshallah, we shall have our theocracy very soon. Let's go.
Personally, I think he's unhinged. I think he's not a good guy. I think he is a right-wing crazy. Considering that although what he said may have appeared to be like jokes, if you watch any of his streams, no, he just actually wants these things to happen. He wants gay people to be thrown off roofs. He wants rape to be legalized. He wants a lot of these things. Yeah, no. Yeah, he does want these things to happen. He wants just a basically Christian version of Sharia law in the U.S. He wants his theocracy. And although we could go on for a tangent for, Vincent James and his fanboys, we're not going to, because it's not really about him. It's about him being all buddy-buddy with Wendy Rogers. It's about him being buddy-buddy with Janice Geachin, or Mick Geachin. It's about people running, not just running for office, but people who are in office being friends and promoting their relationships with these awful people, these disgusting people, being completely open about it. That's not a good sign, because they're becoming far more mask off. Because it's becoming more okay for them to become mask off. Because they're getting more votes that way. I'm not happy with that. Although people say nationalism can be far more sinister when people have the mask on, I think it is far more telling of these people if they have it off. Because then they think it's a good thing. When at least with the mask, they knew it was bad. So, yeah, this wave within local politics is bad. We all talked about the ties with Trump and how that was bad, but that was a presidential election. That's the only one people have seemed to really care about. These are state and local elections that affect people just as much as the president elections. We kind of have to get these people off. You know what I mean? So, if you have any reason to vote, which you do, go do it. Please, for the love of God. I'm hoping they lose their elections. If Rogers comes back up on the ballot in Arizona, I hope she loses. When McGeachin's election happens, I hope she loses. Because they're just here to destroy our country. Just like their constituents. Just like their friends are. They want people dead.